Hey everyone, Trevor Huntsinger here with the Anderson Hicks Group, and today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Dreyson Jenkins. Drayson's an agent on our team. So, Dreyson, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a real estate agent just this past year or 2025, and I grew up playing sports, and there's kind of that competitive nature in real estate, and I just found I think it's a situation
Yeah.
I can thrive in. I mean, I was going to school. I was going to be a strength and conditioning coach,
Okay.
and I was hoping to train D1 football guys to just reach their athletic peak.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling on Indeed for part-time work while I was in school one day, and I saw Idaho State strength and conditioning assistant, 40 grand a year. And I'm like, man, I'm about to dedicate 4 years and then some to something that's gonna make me 40,000 a year, and I can just bring that same energy into a different world.
Yeah. So D1, huh? Like
Yeah.
Idaho State or Alabama?
I wanted to go the Alabama route.
Okay, so like big
yeah,
SEC. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Save a little money on tuition here in state.
Yeah. Yep. Well, so were you born here in Idaho Falls?
And so I was born and raised in Star Valley,
Okay.
Wyoming. We were just on the Idaho side, so kind of got the best of both worlds in state wherever I went. We do our school clothes shopping here at the Grand Teton Mall.
Oh yeah. Awesome. So you were living on the Idaho side of the Wyoming-Idaho border,
Yep.
but you call home Star Valley, Wyoming.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you went to school in Star
Yep,
Valley, Wyoming?
Star Valley High School.
Okay.
No, funny situation with growing up. We our mailbox was on the Wyoming side, and so like ordering any sort of government mail was always a fiasco.
Yeah. Well, I could just imagine like Walmart same day delivery in that situation. They
Yeah.
can't even find my house, and like my address is simple, and so I could just imagine what that would be like.
Yeah, it get pretty western on that side too. I mean, there was funny jurisdiction like with cops and stuff. So all my neighbors, there's always something going on.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not many people. I mean, I think the only like state line you ever hear about is Florida-Georgia line, right?
Yo, yeah.
Yeah. So is it similar to that? Like,
Yep.
you should have started the Idaho-Wyoming
Yeah.
line band.
I know it.
No. So, grew up playing sports, huh? What sports?
Grow up, man, anything and everything. I golfed in high school. I figured that might take me a little bit further than you don't see too many adults playing tackle football.
Yeah.
So I did golf in high school. I did track for a little bit, but primarily basketball and golf.
Okay. And you even did a little bit of non-traditional school sports too that you got into, didn't you?
I did. I got into boxing
Okay.
after high school. You know, I like the confidence that it brings and kind of the chess match.
Yeah.
And I just liked, not that I was feeling aggressive and needed to get those tendencies out, but I just liked feeling confident anywhere I went and knowing I could hold my own.
Yeah, I remember when you told us when we first met that you boxed, and I was like, okay, you can handle this. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I know what those training routines look like.
Yeah.
So
No, those weight cuts weren't fun.
no. The plastic bag sitting in saunas. Oh, no,
Yeah.
that is not fun. So graduated from Star Valley and then went straight to Idaho State University?
Straight to Idaho State. I even tried to talk my dad out of it. I'm like, what if I just work a year? And he was like, if you work a year, it's going to be that much harder to go back. So I went right into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to Idaho State as well. Got
Right
my
on.
degree there,
Nice.
so Idaho State's a good school.
Yeah.
So did you stay only at Idaho State before you came here to real estate here in Idaho Falls?
And so I've bounced all over the place since high school. I went straight to school working full time. So I wanted to get my physical therapy, and the program's just super competitive.
Yeah.
You got to get like a 3.5 GPA, I think it is, pretty nationwide. And so I was getting good grades, and then I'd start working full time, and then I'd want to make a little money, and then my grades would drop, and then it was just balancing that throughout the year. So I would take lots of semesters off to go work I go work HVAC for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, back to school.
Yep.
And then I go make some good money at the mines, and then all right, back to school.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the balance I played the last 4 or 5 years.
Okay. And you were talking about the strength and conditioning, and seeing what that kind of created in the future for you. And it wasn't exactly what you were interested in, but you did still stay very, very close to the fitness and the health, and you still, I mean, you're still very involved in that. Tell me a little bit
Yeah,
about that.
no, I got my personal trainer 4 or so years ago, and it's hard to let that go. I do a little on the side. I program for a couple of my buddies that are football players on the Idaho State team.
Yeah.
And so I program for them. There's a local gym here, Fit One, and I do a little bit of training there, just kind of get my name out there and build some connections with the community.
Yeah. Nice. So, full-time realtor, part-time trainer.
Yep.
Okay. So anybody that, needs the best, do you give a
Oh
discount,
yeah.
if it's like a twofer deal where it's like
I'll,
real
I'll
estate? Okay.
yeah, you buy a house, I'll program for you for free.
Okay. So you've had a lot of experience in quite a few different fields. You said HVAC,
Yep.
you're looking at physical therapy,
Yep.
student,
Yeah, I got
the
1,000.
mines,
Yeah.
like Soda Springs mines.
We cleaned them. So we do gold mines down in Nevada. We do the soda one once a year, but primarily we just stuck around in Wyoming at Simplot, Solvay, and a couple of
Okay.
those in Rock Springs.
So like when they did their shutdowns and
Yep.
you'd come back
Yep,
and
we got
clean
these
them
big
out.
pressure washers. We call them shotguns. They got
Yeah.
enough pressure to blow your foot off. And so you're just standing at a 45-degree angle blowing chunks the size of cars off
Oh,
these
man.
mines.
That is crazy. That was probably a cool
It
experience.
was a lot of fun. They were long days, but the crews you were with, I learned a lot from those guys.
That's so cool. So real estate. So now we just talked about the different things that you ventured into,
Mm-hmm.
and you ended up landing in real estate. And I know that a big piece of that is kind of tied to what your parents are involved in. So
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about that.
So, I mean, I grew up on a dairy farm over there in Star Valley, and I think at the time there was maybe 13 or so. I think there's one today, but we were one of the few when I was growing up, and we just kind of lived off the land. Cheese, milk. I didn't realize our financial situations when we were having grilled cheeses every day.
Yeah.
And it was a family business, and that ended up going sour. So my mom went back to school when I was in elementary school, and she went and got her teaching degree, and my dad went and worked a couple odd end jobs to get us by. And then I kind of saw him jump up the next bracket in life. They're a little more comfortable. My mom got her degree teaching elementary. My dad got a good gig out in Jackson. And then in 2020, they started property management, and I really just saw their life skyrocket. They knew how to be good with money, they knew how to work hard, and they did really good for themselves. And so I saw that, and given some of my experiences, it really just spoke the truth that if you work hard, it'll give right back.
Yeah. That's such a cool story. So you saw your parents go from like very hard in the fields, manual labor, farming,
Mhm.
to mom being a teacher. And then is your mom still a teacher, or did she leave teaching and go full property management role?
She left teaching and went full time,
Okay.
and she still regrets it a little. I don't know, a little bit to this day. There's some funny feelings because she loves the kids so much,
Yeah.
but there's a balance on doing what's best for her.
Okay.
And I know she put in so much hours that you don't get paid for there.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
can just,
Teachers have a tough gig.
Yeah.
Like they are underpaid.
especially here in Idaho.
Yes. Yes.
Wyoming's a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. They, I know Araceli was in here, and she was a teacher as well,
Mhm.
and as well as Katie. And
Okay.
both of them, we talked about like how hard it is to be a teacher, how satisfying it is,
Mhm.
but underpaid, like underappreciated. They do so much.
Speaking of odd jobs, I worked at a care center in Pocatello when I was going to school, and then I also worked with some disabled kids.
Okay.
And those are some of the worst paying jobs I got. But if I were to go back, they were some of my favorites.
Yep.
The culture there in the workplace was awesome. You felt really fulfilled.
Yeah.
You were just struggling a little bit
Yeah.
in other ways.
Yeah, your bucket gets filled in more ways than just financially in some of those positions.
Yeah.
And, well, good. That's awesome. So you saw your parents get into property management come 2020, right? Pandemic. And so was that really the driving force that got you interested into real estate?
Oh, man. A little bit, but I think I found at the other jobs I worked, working W-2 jobs, I would work, and my employers, they were super happy with me, super grateful, and I would get to that point and I would stop. I would cap myself off, where I'm like, I know you're happy, I'm not going to string myself out, but I know there's more in the tank. And so I thought with real estate, I'm like, I could just surpass and just go all pedal to the metal, baby.
Yep. Sky's the limit.
Yep.
So now you've been licensed since, what was it, summer of 2025?
Yep.
Okay. And so you've got coming up on a year's worth of experience and
Yep.
have already helped some clients in buying and selling homes.
Yeah.
And so tell me, how's that been?
Oh man, it's been great. It's been a fun learning curve, and that's why I love joining this team. Being on this team is great. I mean, having your expertise, Mike's expertise has been super, super helpful. I know, I mean, my mom calls me up. She's got her brokers down in Wyoming, but she doesn't have a team like this, and she'll call me up asking me questions.
Yeah. Maybe we should start AHG Wyoming.
Yeah.
Is your mom up for that?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, so you have got some experience under your belt, and ultimately the biggest thing that I want to know today is, what is it that motivates you every single day to come in and chase real estate and form those relationships? Like, what is it specifically in real estate that draws you back in each and every day?
And so I look really long term. I kind of have this philosophy on maybe not a set date, but just more a path.
Okay.
And it's just the continuing to grow and be a better version of yourself every day. And so I'm always, whether it's relationships at home, friends, family, work, I see myself on this path. And I know as long as I take the steps to get there, that's what motivates me every day.
Okay.
I want to be the best father I can be one day, the best husband I can be. And I think the steps I put in today really drive that.
Yeah. Yeah, and they absolutely will. And all that hard work you put in, like, you're right, it is looking at the long-term path and viewing it as a marathon versus a sprint.
And then it's easy to not kick myself when I go in an appointment and some dude slams the door in my face.
Yeah. Those are the ones that you think, because they humble you.
Yeah.
Right? It's, hey, it doesn't matter who you are, you're always going to run into those situations. And being able to brush that off and charge forward is, not everyone can do that. Not everyone can do that.
Yeah.
They can't just laugh it off and be like, well, all right, on to the next.
Yeah.
Some take it personal, and you can't in this industry. That is for sure. So you talked a little bit about, friends and family. So outside of real estate, what do you like to do for fun?
Man, I'm in the gym. I like playing sports. Go do some golfing in the summer. Always trying to find pickup basketball in the winter months to pass the time. I like fly fishing. My best friend growing up, his dad was a fly fishing guide, and so we'd be out there, two little toddlers with fly rods, getting some action. So I kind of got addicted to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I just anything outdoors, anything active. I just like to move.
Yeah. So what's the best fish you've ever caught?
Man, I really just cutthroats and browns. I got a couple cutties over 20 inches.
Yeah. So like that big?
That's what I tell my
That's right.
friends, but
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah. Okay. Just check and see if you're a real
Yep,
fisherman.
yep.
So,
Well, there's all sorts of tricks with the camera angles, hiding your
oh
thumb
yeah.
behind it, making it
Uh-huh.
look.
Holding it out
Yep,
further. Oh
yep,
yeah.
yep. No,
That's
we mastered that at a early age.
if your friend's dad was a guide, you definitely mastered that
Yeah.
at an early age, because that's their number one marketing technique, right?
Yeah, oh
Come
yeah.
fish with me, and this 12-inch trout now looks like a 24-inch
Yep,
trout, right?
yep.
So, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but getting out in the mountains, I know uh antlers are starting to pop
Oh
off,
yeah.
so I'm hoping to get out there in the hills and find a couple sheds here soon.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know
you'll have to find somebody that has the dogs that track them.
I know, I know. I try to teach my dog, and I don't know if it's just genetic.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't trained him how to be a duck hunting dog, but he's perfect at it.
Yeah.
And I spend hours trying to get him trained for sheds, and he just gets so distracted when we're out there. It's so frustrating.
I get it. I totally get it. I've got a black lab, and he is an amazing upland bird dog. So
Mhm.
pheasant hunting's my absolute favorite. And he just he's not into ducks. Like, he will sit and he'll watch and he will run after them as they go down, but unless it is a mallard, a
Mhm.
Drake mallard, he will not return it.
Oh,
He's like,
man.
nope, I'm too good for those, and just
He-
will walk off. But
he's
pheasants,
discriminating.
oh yes, yes. He was like, you got to pick and choose what you're shooting better, Dad. I know. So dogs are awesome. So back into real estate. So right now, we are in the market where here in East Idaho, it's kind of started to stabilize. Like, we get the luxury of having Mike sit every single week in front of us with up-to-date stats and go through what's happening here in our local market. And then we hear from all the different calls and the news that's out there of what's happening across America. And we're in what we would consider a pretty balanced market.
Mhm.
So for those that are sitting here watching us and having this conversation and don't really know about what's happening in the market, what's really the facts, and not so much the fear tactics that are out there, what would you tell a buyer right now that is potentially looking to buy a home in the next few months?
You know, I heard a couple people say it, that a buyer, the best time to buy is when you can. And I really do believe that. Anybody I'm working with, or even if they're 2 years out, I got a couple dudes that are 19 years old, and they got this preconception that I can't buy a house, and I just tell them go get pre-approved. They're not gonna ding your credit. They can do a soft pull, and after that, you know where you stand.
Yeah.
And then just make a game plan. It can be a 5-year plan. There's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with a long-term plan, but then you know where you're at, and it's something to get excited about and start building towards.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like what gets me excited every day is just building towards something, working towards being better, and just striving.
Yep. Yeah, and you're 100% right, where you're talking to a couple of 19-year-olds who are looking at this and seeing, wow, there's not really an opportunity for us to buy. That's not necessarily the case. It may not be today. It may be in a year or in 5 years.
Mhm.
But the fact is that you don't have to wait until you're 35 or 40 years old.
Mm-mm.
Like, you can find different programs. You can put a plan together with a lender and partner with an agent and be able to have a success plan to where you're buying your first home and building your real estate portfolio in your very early 20s.
Mm-hmm. And I think even just getting in and strategizing that game plan might set them up to be in a good spot in a couple years, where without that, maybe it would have been a 5-10 year thing, but they knew what to work on and what to build towards, and just working towards the right things to get there.
Yeah. I like what you said there. The best time to buy is when you can,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not forced. It's, hey, there's many situations where short-term renting just makes the most sense. It's setting up a success plan for your client and
Mm-hmm.
forming those relationships with your clients to see them succeed throughout the rest of their lives.
And I see it nowadays, lots of people getting trapped into the renting. And me and another agent on the team, Ryan, we actually just did our first ever first time home buyer seminar. We're going to continue doing that. And we really just walk down people in the renting situation on really what that's costing you, and if it makes sense to strategize and get that game plan for the next year, 5, 10 years to get out of that.
Yep. Yeah, and start building your own equity
Mhm.
rather than someone else's.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you're not mindfully thinking about it, you might get trapped.
Yeah, you are 100% right. So, well, Drayson, thank you for stopping in today
Yeah,
and
no,
sitting
thank
down.
you.
And for anybody watching this video, whether you're a first-time home buyer looking to sell a home, Drayson's an amazing agent on our team. And if you have questions or just want to find out more about what it takes to buy possibly your first home here in East Idaho, reach out to us, reach out to Drayson. I know he'd be happy to help you.
Yeah, 7 days a week. Give me a holler, baby.
Never sleep, never sleep. So reach out to Drayson. He'd be happy to help you. And we look forward here at the Anderson Hicks Group to meet you in the future and work with you as a client. Thanks, everyone.